So, a few months ago, I alluded kind of maybe to the fact that I had no space left for books, which is a problem because I am a book collector. I buy books, I like to own them, I own a lot of them. I am pleased to announce that I have now solved that problem, and today I'm going to take you on a little tour of just what I did. This one probably won't be as detailed on like every single book, because if you've been keeping up with the channel at this point, you probably know a lot of the stuff I own and you know what I've read, what I haven't. And if you are new, you can always go through the backlog or follow me on Goodreads so you can see the stuff that I have read, what I haven't yet. That being said, there are a few things that I've picked up since my last haul video, and I'll be giving a bit more of a spotlight to those. And then let me see here if I just... There we go. I say it's a little trippy, but well, whatever. Over here, of course, my first manga wall. It's looking quite a bit different from the last time I showed it off. And that is because I have designated this space for manga that I have stopped collecting, either because the series has ended, or I don't really have a desire to pick up any more. Not because I don't like any of these series. I've said before that I pretty much love everything that's in my collection. That's why it's in my collection. If I don't like something, I get rid of it. But like Magi, I mean, geez, the series ended like 5 years ago. At this point, I just gotta accept I'm not gonna collect the rest. Same goes for Watamote, like it's so far ahead, like One Punch Man. All great series, all stuff I love and would recommend, but I kinda missed the boat on those and I don't really need to get any more. Of course, you have all the completed goats too, Astra, Attack on Titan, Full Metal. Just everything here is great. Go read it if you haven't. What are you doing? Now, coming over here, I did see Paramore this spring, by the way. Best concert of my life. Hello. But here we have Akira. Now, you'll notice that I actually have way more space on this shelf than I used to. And we'll get into why in a bit, but because I had all this extra space, I decided, hey, why not like finally display my Akira volumes that came with the 35th anniversary set. Of course, now we're only a few years away from a 45th anniversary set, which is a bit wild. I remember when this was still new. But yeah, where I never had a ton of space before, I would always just keep these in the box, but like they're so pretty, it was a real shame. So while I have the space there, thought I would show them off. Akira's great. Now this baby here, let me tell you about this, okay? Brand new, and my god if this is not one of the coolest things I own. And that is the hardcover illustrated edition of Guards by Terry Pratchett. Got this on Book Outlet for an absolute steal, and this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Of course, with a ton of super nice colored illustrations. It's so nice, and I'm very excited because I'm just now getting into Discworld, and a lot of people have told me Guards not only was it one of the best, but it's one of the best places to start. So it won't be much longer before I check this one out, and man, I don't think there's a better way I could experience it. The rest of this shelf here is just miscellaneous stuff, I don't really have any other place for. Only other new thing here was Untethered Sky, which is a Fondali novella, which might be cool to check out one day. And I don't buy a lot of movie theater merch, but I had to make an exception for my boy Billy here. Coming down here, we have what I like to call my impulse shelf. Just a tiny shelf I like to fill with tiny books, because every now and then I have the impulse to just read something. And if I do, I'll usually pick something off here. Now, seeing books here, there's no guarantee that I will get around to them soon. Don't get your hopes up. But you never know when I will be in the mood for one. And right now I am currently working my way through Mort. So yeah, nice stuff. Zooming out a bit, this is just my normal workspace. This is where I draw my webcomics. Check them out. I'm on a mini hiatus because I'm working on something else, but I will be back to finish Dormant in the spring. And here we have this brand new sexy bookshelf. There I am. That's me. That's daddy's boy. I came across this stupid thing one day. I didn't even like what is... On top, just have some box sets here. They are currently empty because they do not need to be filled because I have space. It's wonderful. Anyway, first shelf here, mostly Sanderson hardcovers. Of course, Stormlight Archive, finally finished reading it. Man, what a series. Some Mistborn. Hopefully one day I'll get Alloy of Law. We got the Secret Projects here. I was hoping Sunlit Man would be out by this video, but they did delay that release, but I'll get it soon. And I just have a Name of the Wind and Babel here just sort of as a placeholder. And did someone call Gerard the Completionist? Because would you believe that I've been wanting to use that joke for years, but I've always kept forgetting, and now the time that I finally remember to say it, it's probably the worst possible. Oh my god. You know, I met him once. I met Gerard the Completionist. I have his autograph somewhere. I'll try to find it. Man, I hate this. Everyone's leaving YouTube. The ones who aren't are turning out to be, you know, weirdos. But I'll always be here, you guys. You can always count on me to buy books that I will likely not be reading for years. Alright, yes, I finally own every single volume of The Wheel of Time, and I am thrilled about it. Because, of course, now I am committed to, you know, actually reading it. We'll be starting the Dragon Reborn very soon, and I hope to make a steady chunk of progress throughout the year. The last two are new since my last video, so I'll just show them off here. I really like these editions. It does suck that they got the Prime Video sticker on them, but, you know, what can you do? And those are some Mistborn editions that I don't really like. In fact, I would kind of be thrilled to own the new ones, but that's what I own for now, so, you know, it is what it is. Coming down here, I mean, this shelf sort of speaks for itself. Nothing But Peak, Nothing But Flames. A Song of Ice and Fire, of course, incredibly popular and one of my favorite series ever, with Storm of Swords being like one of the best books I've ever read. And here's The First Law, which is also one of my favorite series, even though I've only read the first 4 books, but it's something special, man. And, you know, out of these, The Last Argument of Kings, like, is really up there. It's up there with Storm of Swords, man. I know First Law is already super popular, but if for whatever reason you have only read The Song of Ice and Fire and not these, this should be it. This should be what you're doing next. Like, literally just drop everything and read First Law. It's so good. And I'll have a review of Best Served Cold coming out in a bit. Down here we have the Dresden Files, of which I've read the first 3 books. I forgot to make a mini review of the 3rd one. I'll do that. But yeah, it's a series I hope to continue in the spring and make some decent progress this year, though I don't intend to be caught up. But, you know, it's so long. What can you do? But yes, I have been enjoying it so far. And here, so if you remember a while ago, I said, you know, when I get the Expanse, I'd eventually do it in these paperbacks. But little did I know that they were actually going to be continuing the release of these collector's editions. I just saw these 2 at the store and I was like, oh my god, 30% off hardcovers? Let's go! So yeah, while it's not necessarily on my radar this year, I'm really excited to eventually read The Expanse, especially if they're going to be doing the whole thing in these sexy-ass hardcovers, man. Whew. Also, I don't know if I showed this off with the first one, but they actually kept the original cover art and put them on the backs of the dust covers here. Very, very cool stuff, so yeah, I'll definitely be picking up more whenever they come out. I also recently got this hardcover of Good Omens, because I figured, you know, I'm getting into both authors right now, so, you know, I might want to check this one out. And I actually did watch the first season of the show when that first came out, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. So yeah, I think this will be an interesting one to check out. And down on the bottom here, we have my Tolkien stuff, Gentlemen Bastards, The Poppy War, Shattered Seas. I also kind of forgot a Half a War review. I'll do that soon. Doing Malazan, some other stuff, you know what's up. Now, you may have noticed one thing, and that's that this bookshelf is actually not as wide as the last one I had here. The last one was never technically mine, even though I sort of had it for years, and I sort of had to give it back, and yeah, now this one's not quite as big. But again, we'll get to how I solve that problem later. That does leave a bit of this space in this corner here, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I think like a long-term goal when I run out of space again is to probably put like a tree bookshelf here or something. I think that would look pretty cool. But yeah, let's not think about that right now. Alright, so over to my second manga wall, which again looks a lot different from last time. As this shelf here and the one on the bottom is mostly reserved for my more premium stuff. The signature editions, the Vizbigs, you know, all that juicy nonsense. Vagabond, Vinland, Blade of the Immortal, you know, some of the best stuff I've ever read. I love seeing how like a lot of BookTube has been, you know, covering more manga stuff, like seeing a lot of booktubers who've been just reading novels for years, getting into like Vagabond, Vinland, Berserk, that type of stuff, because it's sort of the exact reverse of what I did. But I just really love to see it because, you know, both mediums have so much to offer, and there's nothing wrong with dipping your toes in both. In fact, I would actively encourage it. And that leaves this middle shelf down here, which is now reserved for all of the series that I am actively collecting. How about that? Kaneba Nashi there, blue box. I'm missing some volumes, but they're coming in the mail. Chainsaw Man, can't remember if I showed off the latest volume when I got it, but it's here, it's fire, it's a banger. Kaguya volume 27 is also new. This is the penultimate installment. It's gonna be really sad when I get that final one in the mail, but yeah, my favorite series of all time, of course. I've been hearing some pretty mixed things about Kaiju number 8, like in the current stuff, so I might put a pause on collecting it now until I actually read what I own and see if I want to collect more. I'm hoping for the best, though. There's my hero, Will It Ever End? Who knows? Oshinoko, Spy Family, and of course the extremely nice Parasite full color editions. 3 and 4 here are new, and I hope to collect the rest in the coming months. Up here, not much has changed. Still have Berserk and all of my games up here. Teddy is getting a bit restless, like every day or so he just like moves a little bit more outside of his DS cage there. Don't really know what's going on there, but I'll leave him be and hope for the best, I suppose. The new stuff here includes Horizon Forbidden West and the Lies of P. I really love the gameplay in Horizon, not so much the story, but you know, it's whatever. So I'm excited to play the sequel, though I had to wait a bit for the rush of Elden Ring and Zelda to wear off, because they sort of killed every other open world game for me. But I think I'm ready to enjoy Horizon again. And The Lies of P, which I hear is like one of the best non-FromSoft Souls-like games. So yeah, count me in. So Joel, what's the secret? How did you clear up so much space? You know, you got this new bookshelf, but it's actually smaller than the old one. What did you do? And I don't know, man. What could it be? What could I have possibly done? I don't know. I've surveyed 100 people. They couldn't figure it out. Yeah, I got another one. All right, bookshelf number 2. Let's go. Up here are the rest of my Sanderson books, just the mass market stuff that I didn't have room for. Over on the other shelf, we have my Richard Riordan stuff here. You know, aside from the new Percy Jackson books that are coming out, I'm not super interested in reading the rest of his books. Because, you know, I'm not really part of the demographic for it, and, you know, I'm starting to get a bit tired of the formula that was going on in Heroes of Olympus, but, you know, still respect the guy, still love the man, Uncle Rick, some TJ Klune stuff here, some comics. I don't know if I talked about the Scott Pilgrim show here, but it was fire. What a banger. Whew. I'm kind of disappointed that, like, they just didn't follow the comic, but I also really liked what they did. So, you know, overall, yeah, it's great. And of course, I've moved all of my Stephen King stuff to this shelf, starting with the hardcovers, the paperbacks, in mostly chronological order, and finishing with the wonderful Dark Tower series. Eventually, this shelf will likely all be Stephen King stuff, but for now, you know, I just have some filler stuff here, some other horror books, some I really like, Stephen Graham Jones, of course, and just the rest of my American comics thrown in there. So there we have it. This office is certainly becoming, it's becoming something, let me tell you. Now the real question is, how long will it take me to run out again? Of course, this is really the only like free space I have, so we'll see where we are this time next year. And that will do it, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. You can leave your thoughts on anything I showed off here in the comments down below. Again, if you want to follow what I have read and what I am currently reading, you can go check me out on Goodreads. You got my webcomic down there, and of course, as always, my book club's Instagram. We are moving into our 3rd year. We have some big stuff planned, and we would love for you to join us. These videos really tire out my arm. I'm gonna go now. 4th Wing review coming next.